What's up, Nerdgenic Nation, and welcome to History Of. I'm your host and resident superhero nerd, Aaron Waller, and this is a series where we do a deep dive into various comic book characters, both heroes and villains, and give a little bit more insight as to who they are and why they do what they do. And in today's episode, we're talking about a character that's going to be in the upcoming, or at least currently streaming series, Moon Knight. He hasn't appeared yet. There's only been one episode that's premiered since the recording of this video, but he's supposed to be in it at some point, and that's Midnight Man. Midnight Man was created by Doug Minogue and Bill Sienkiewicz and first appeared in Moon Knight number 3 in 1981. Now, not much is known about the early years of Midnight Man, or as he's also known, Anton Mogart. But what we do know is that he lives in a New Jersey mansion and started off as an art thief, stealing art and jewels from around the world, and he would do so to own the items, not necessarily needing them for money. But his heist would always take place exactly at midnight, hence he got the name Midnight Man. Really, not a whole lot of deep thought went into naming this character. During a spree of burglaries while in New York City, Midnight Man would steal a rare oil painting by Monet that was at the Ramadan Art Gallery. He would be stopped by Moon Knight and fall into the river and be presumed dead, but he would actually be carried away through the city via a drainage viaduct, where he would become deformed as a result of the sewer waste melting parts of his face. He would hide out in the sewers for a few days before going back home and finding out that police had entered his home and taken all of his stolen work. Of course, he would blame this on Moon Knight for his deformity and lose his entire life's work and go insane. Thus, he would return to the sewers and start collecting trash instead of priceless goods. I mean, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? He would then begin working with Moon Knight's enemy, Raoul Bushman, to lure Moon Knight into the sewer chamber and flood it with the hero inside. Moon Knight would escape, of course, and Midnight Man would be defeated and once again washed down the river. Maybe he should rework his name to being Riverman. Eventually, Mogart would learn that he was dying of cancer and seek out his illegitimate child named Jeff Wild, and teach him all of his trade secrets, but also beg him not to become a criminal. Mogart would then go on to challenge Moon Knight one final time before losing and eventually dying. After his death, his son would take up the mantle of Midnight Man and ditch the name Man and just go by Midnight and try to become Moon Knight's sidekick before becoming his enemy. That sounds kind of familiar.
It tore me apart, but I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone, especially your heroes.
Now, Midnight Man has not appeared in any video game, animation, or live-action property until now, where he'll be played by Gaspard Ulliel on the Marvel Studios and Disney Plus series Moon Knight. Unfortunately, Gaspard passed away in January due to a skiing accident prior to the series premiere, so it's unknown what will happen with this character moving forward, but it's very sad nonetheless to know that he did unfortunately pass. Now, in terms of powers and abilities, Midnight Man doesn't really have any to speak of. He is, however, a master thief and being able to escape authorities around the world, as well as being a skilled fighter and martial artist, oftentimes giving Moon Knight a run for his money. When it comes to weapons, however, Midnight Man does use a handgun and a dagger that he had previously stolen from an art collection. And now for my favorite segment of History Of, where I give you a couple of comic recommendations that you can check out and get to see this character in action and get to know him just a little bit better. First up, we have Moon Knight number 3, which was the introduction comic of Midnight Man. This was the first time he was ever introduced, so we get a little bit more of his backstory here, as well as we get to see some pretty good action between him and Moon Knight. The next recommendation comes with a small arc in Moon Knight number 9 and 10, which features one of the biggest fights between Moon Knight and Midnight Man, so if you want to see them in full action, check out that little run. And finally, we have Mark Spector, Moon Knight number 5. It's when we believe we have seen the return of Anton Mogart, only to find out that it was his son that took over the mantle. So those are some of the major things you need to know about Moon Knight. Was there anything in this video you may not have known otherwise? Let me know down in the comment section down below. And also, while you're down there, leave me a comment and suggest any character you might want to see on this series. Your suggestion just might become next week's video. But also, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also make sure to follow us across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic so you miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. And if you want to be a very kind member of the Nerdgenic Nation and make sure this channel only continues to get better, make sure to check out our recently launched Patreon, which has several tiers which will include some very exclusive content if you sign up. So make sure to check out that link down in the description down below. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out these videos on screen, like this recent video from Russell where he talks about the coolest swords in video games, or check out this playlist right over here, which is my weekly watch party of Marvel's Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Premieres every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you stop by and join me live and watch the show with me. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.